Hello, Meoni here, and today we're taking a closer look at my top 10 favorite emotes in Final Fantasy XIV. But before we get started, let me make this just very clear. We're keeping things accessible by focusing solely on emotes that have been or are still obtainable in the game, so no premium ones are available in this list, such as ones that come with a free statue, for example. Nothing like that. But anyway, without that clouding up the judgment of these, let's continue. In no particular order, but still an order I think is kind of relevant. At the number 10 spot, we have the Mandeville Mambo, because let's face it, how can you create an emote list without the ever-charming Hildebrand within it? The Mandeville Mambo is the quintessential Hildy emote, capturing the essence of the zany Hildebrand side quests. Not only does it come with fantastic rewards, that series of quests, but it also boasts a storyline that, in my opinion, adds a delightful touch of comedy to the Final Fantasy XIV experience and prevents things from becoming too serious all the time. I really like this one. It smashes all of the other emotes together basically to create a dance. What's not to love? Well, unless you don't like Hildebrand, of course, in which case. Number 9, we've got the Squat emote. As a fan of Final Fantasy VII, and indeed Crisis Core, this emote is kind of like a nostalgic nod for me to the iconic Squat minigame from 7, obtained through Adventurous Squadron missions. The emotes from the Squadron are a fantastic addition to the game, and we've got stuff like the press-ups to breath control, and of course these iconic squats. I remember seeing this for the first time as one of the rewards and saying, okay, let's continue doing the squadron missions. I wasn't particularly fond of the Adventurous Squadrons completely. I thought it could have been a feature that could have been evolved into something else, and hey presto, we have the trust system now, which was the direct evolution of that system. But yeah, there are some really great rewards from doing it, and I would definitely recommend getting these. Who doesn't want to try and beat their friend at how many squats they can do? Never skip leg day. Coming in at number 8, we have the Malevolence emote, the perfect way then to give your friends a playful and meaningful scare. Sneakily position yourself just out of the view of their camera, so see where they're facing and view that as a good rendition of where they might be if they're AFK, and then predict their return path when they come back to their computer or console and unleash the spookiness. This emote, in my opinion, is the epitome of Halloween vibes, especially when showcased on my Lalafell ult, looking especially creepy here, like I'm about to eat you alive. This emote then can be acquired from the Ballroom Etiquette Dark Entreaty, which is something you can get from the Bosjan Southern Front from the Resistance Quartermaster for 50 of the Bosjan clusters. Unless, of course, you went to the market board to buy it from another player that farmed it for you, but those are the only ways to get this emote. Lucky number 7 on this list, we find the Shiver emote. I had to put this one on here. Remember a time when this emote cost a small fortune on the market board? Ah, the days of Eureka in Stormblood, where bunny fates were a potential goldmine. They still are, but less so. Originally a very luxury purchase or a very lucky drop from your bunny chests inside Eureka's Bunny Fates, Shiver later became a Moogle Tome event reward, expanding its accessibility to many more people, which is honestly a good thing because this is a really good emote. This emote then is a lifesaver for those moments when Warriors of Light forget to dress appropriately for the weather, giving a perfect shiver effect in cold areas and matching that cold breath perfectly in Kurthus, where you could practically cut glass with parts of your body. The attention to detail and the animation quality make this emote a solid addition to any Adventurers collection, and if you can pick this one up, definitely do so. Conversely, at number 6, we've got the Sweat emote, the literal opposite of the Shiver emote then. For those times when you're donning full armor sets or mascot outfits in a scorching desert and you forgot to change appropriately, Sweat is your go-to expression. Introduced into Heaven on High during Stormblood once again, via Empyrean potsherds for clearing sets of floors, this emote quickly became one of my favorites at the time, and I still use it often today. Not only does it look great in practically every screenshot where you need to express heat, but it also boasts excellent animation quality, making it a rewarding find from a fun and challenging activity. Heaven on High is a fantastic opportunity to test either your solo or a small group of 4. It's really quite good, and for some reason it seems to have scaled very badly with item level and seems to be a lot easier than I remember it. We did some runs recently and we absolutely crushed it. But yeah, some really good content. I really like the deep dungeons. For our halfway point on this list then, at number 5, I have the Charmed emote. This is something you can acquire from the Ananta tribal quests added in Stormblood. If you remember the Ananta, basically you would need to reach rank 5 with the Ananta daily quest hub, and then you would get 5 of these dream staves, which is the currency, and you would exchange that at the vendor there, and you'd be able to get the ballroom etiquette salacious sentiments, which is of course /charmed. I think most people, when they first saw that this was a reward that we could actually emulate, that a lot of people jumped at the chance to do the tribe. It's one of the better emotes in the game, and it's persistent, which is really nice. Again, you might be familiar with this if you have done Stormblood content such as Lakshmi, where obviously you're bewitched by the loving embrace of the goddess herself, and yeah, basically this emote plays through. It's a really nice one, and I think a lot of people use it in many different situations. When someone does a /dote at you, which is a cash shop related emote, then the sensible reaction to that is definitely to do /charmed, like you're under their spell. I've seen so many people use this. It's pretty much mandatory at this point if you want to RP, and it looks really cool in a variety of situations, like you're very much enamored by a situation. I personally like the consider emotes and sort of shocked emotes. It'd be nice to see more animated emotes with particle effects spinning around your character like this, so hopefully they do more in Dawn Trail. Moving on to our 4th spot then, we strike a pose with the Battle Stance emote. When it comes to looking cool for screenshots, how often do you see images of Savage Clears posted on social media where someone is twirling a staff, spinning new lives high above their head, or showcasing their battle stance in many other ways? I would imagine quite frequently. Battle Stance takes the spotlight as perhaps the most useful emote for group pose and most overused, featuring custom poses for every job, even extending its charm to crafters and gatherers with some simple renditions. The attention to detail for every job's battle stance is nothing short of brilliant, creating poses for over 20 jobs now, and consistently delivering quality is no small feat, making battle stance the pinnacle of show-off emotes. And honestly, this is further iterated by the Victory emote, but again, they're very similar. I chose Battle Stance out of the 2 here for this spot. At the bronze medal spot then, we have the Lean emote. Want to be in a screenshot but maintain an air of nonchalance? Lean has got you covered. Whether you're channeling your inner edgy scroll Leonhardt or defying physics occasionally when no wall is present, Lean is the non-interaction emote that we need more of. Emotes that can be applied anywhere with the idea of an inanimate object in mind, but not necessarily incorporated, are a welcome addition to the game. Personally, I'm kind of hoping that we see similar ideas with like sit down, sort of lie down emotes, or a plank emote. That would be quite cool in the future and probably quite easy to do, but what do I know? Taking up the number 2 spot then, in a silver medal position if you will, I'm going to go for the gratuity emote. This is the pure show of wealth. It is to humbly scatter gold coins at the feet of your admirers. That's literally what it says, and obviously the animation is to throw this gold koban all around you basically. This is unlocked as part of a allied tribal quest with the Stormblood tribal quest hubs, formerly known as Beast Tribes. The gratuity emote will unlock once you have done this quest, which you need to be allied with the Ananta Kojin and Namazu, and have also completed all of their quests to be able to see what a wonderful world in the Azim Steppe. This is a very cool idea, and they've not really done any allied quests since this point. We are scheduled for a brand new allied tribal quest added in patch 6.55 coming in January at the time of recording next year, so I'm excited for that, and that's no doubt going to be filled with similar rewards. But I do like these extra things added to the game. So I never imagined originally that they were going to combine all of the tribes together, and to see the Namazu again, my personal favorite tribal quest line in the game, with all of the others at the same time. It was absolutely hilarious. If you've never done any of the tribal quests, I would strongly recommend Stormblood. It has some of the strongest offerings in terms of tribal quests out of the entire game, hands down. So I highly recommend that. The emote is fantastic. It is short but sweet, but a lot of the time, sometimes you just want to show your wealth. You want to throw money. You want to literally make it rain. Anyway, moving on to the top place. I'm going to give this one to the Bee's Knees. This emote holds a special place among the dance emotes in Final Fantasy XIV for me. I remember when I was playing the A Realm Reborn beta before the game actually came out all those years ago, 10 plus years ago now, and seeing the group of Mikotes dancing sultry animations inside Uldar, just near the quicksand, actually, in that main area. And I've wanted that emote ever since I've seen them, and there have been dances that are close to that. We've got the Thavnarian dance, which is close to it, the Gold dance, which isn't that close to it at all. And there's nothing really that comes close to the same kind of expression that they're using on those characters. Hopefully one day we get whatever emote that is, but I, for the life of me, can't figure out it. I mean, it's clearly not in the game. There are things close to it, but I want that emote. But the Bee's Knees is probably as close as I'm going to get to that. It boasts one of the finest dance animations in the game, in my opinion. Its graceful movements and attention to detail make it stand out as an emote that exudes sophistication, whether you're in the midst of a bustling city or in the serene landscapes of anywhere in Eorzea. The Bee's Knees elevates the art of dance to a whole new level. Now, it's really good for many situations. A lot of people, when you ask them, if you want to G-pose for a picture or something, people often rely on the Bee's Knees as their go-to dance, simply because of its persistent nature. It loops nicely, it looks good in the background. There's clubs in the game, such as obviously the Beehive and places like that. It is a great reward, and you definitely want to get this one if you haven't already. It's brilliant. Anyway, that's my 10 emotes. I'm sure there are many of you going, why didn't you include this? Where was that? There are so many great emotes. Over 130 something now, as we've said. There's going to be a lot more in Dawn Trail. I'm really excited to see what we get in the future. Like I say, I think that the bar has been set for many different types, but Square Enix always manages to pull incredible animations out of nowhere and make them into emotes we didn't even know we wanted until we have them in our possession and we go, how did we ever not have this before? And that's the same with pretty much everything else in terms of collectability in this game, be it minions or mounts or whatever. So I can't wait to see what we get next. But what are your 10 favorite current emotes in a game? Be sure to let me know in the comment section, share with other people, and I'll try and engage as much as I can. Much love, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.